Call of Duty just hit a wall that Activision never thought would be possible, guys. For the first time in years, the franchise that used to literally print money on demand just face planted, and the numbers are proving it. We've been covering this several times the last couple of weeks, guys. Black Ops 7's launch wasn't just slower. It was a historic collapse of epic proportions, guys. And you should care. You really should, because for the first time in a decade, gamers are actually dictating where the industry is going next. So let's talk the value proposition here, guys. Why does this matter? Well, for years, publishers acted like your loyalty was guaranteed. They made how many Black Ops? This is the seventh one. Isn't that kind of ridiculous to hear? Seven versions of the same fucking game, and they think that just because you've been paying and paying annually, you should be automatically loyal to them, guys. They're ignoring feedback. They shovel out half-baked releases, and they still rake in $1 billion, but not this time, guys. The buck stopped here. This year shows what happens when competition finally catches up, which Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, they're giving Black Ops 7 a taste of their own medicine, guys. And when a fed up company and community, but most importantly, a fed up community of gamers stopped handing out free wins to Call of Duty, because we're literally putting our feet down on this one right here, guys. People are speaking up, they're calling it out. Activision used to treat Call of Duty like a cheat code. Need money? Ship out a new Call of Duty. People will go ahead and buy it. It didn't matter if the features were stripped out, if the movement felt worse, if the art direction was a mess. Call of Duty always bailed Activision out. At the end of the day, that was their guaranteed moneymaker. They can just crap out slop after slop, and as long as Call of Duty came out, they'd be in the green. Well, like I said, not anymore. Black Ops 7 is the first release in years where gamers didn't show up on autopilot, and the numbers are brutal, as PvP firm Kino Casino would say. So the sales crash for Black Ops 7 is worse than anyone expected, and it's bad, guys. Across Europe, the launch weekend sales dropped 50% compared to Black Ops 6. And this includes both physical and digital, which is almost unheard of. This is a disaster of epic proportions, guys. This is like, again, couldn't imagine this. How bad this ship is sinking is wild. And to make it worse, Battlefield 6 apparently outsold Black Ops 7 by 63% during that same window, guys. 63%. That's a huge number. When Battlefield, after years of being the underdog, is outperforming Call of Duty, that's telling you everything. And not to mention the Battlefield that came before this, 2042, was a disaster itself. So Battlefield did what Activision isn't doing. They got up, dusted themselves off, and they tried again. They did a return to form for the series. They just basically gave gamers what they wanted. Competitors are eating Call of Duty alive now. And you know, all this 63% and all that, that's just retail. Because when you look at what players are actually logging into, the picture gets even uglier. I mentioned Arc Raiders, right? I haven't played the game yet. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up because I've been hearing the hype. It's had an explosive launch, a high user score, massive Steam presence, and it's a $40 game. Battlefield 6, strong reviews, a huge comeback moment for the series. Where wins meet. A game that's not even a FPS shooter, looter, whatever you want to call. It's not even the same genre, but it's a free-to-play game, still pulling more interest than expected. It's Chinese, it's hack and slash swords, open world RPG environment. Competition is finally mattering again, guys, because again, you didn't want to release next to a Call of Duty. You were basically shooting yourself in the foot. Now gamers have options. They're choosing studios who listened while Activision was busy selling skins. And Call of Duty has a reputation problem at this point, guys. Let's be honest. Call of Duty didn't get here by accident. For years, players begged for better servers. They begged for real anti-cheat. They begged for boots on the ground gameplay, which is what people want more than ever. Fewer forced collabs. We don't need no Beavis and Butthead. We don't need no Nicki Minaj in our Call of Duty. It got really ridiculous this last go around with the collabs to the point where I didn't even want to play the game anymore. Anytime I saw the social media post something with Beavis and Butthead or some weird collab, I was like, really? Really? I mean, at first, like the Kong and Godzilla thing was cool, but then it just started to get ridiculous and it really messed with their identity. They had no consistent identity. Instead, we got stupid cosmetics, stupid crossovers, content. I put that in quotation, and fewer fixes for what's broken on it. When you disrespect your audience long enough, they're eventually going to move on. And that's what's happened here, guys. Now the Steam numbers are a disaster. We've went over this, but I'll go ahead and recap it. Their all-time Steam Hub peak sits at about 491,670 for Call of Duty's all-time Steam Hub, but today's concurrent count is barely 81,000 people, guys. Remember, you can't even see a dedicated Black Ops 7 listing because it's buried under the COD hub, which means the numbers might even be worse than they look. Take that into factor, because that is wild when you think about it. Even Arc Raiders, which I mentioned is a literal newcomer, has had moments where it's doubled, even tripled Call of Duty's active players at this point. That should absolutely terrify Activision. If they don't know that they're in trouble, they need to stop lying to themselves, because that alone with Arc Raiders should be terrifying them, guys. And then, of course, we talked about in the past, Game Pass. Game Pass is complicating everything. They even admitted not too long ago that Call of Duty has essentially cannibalized sales. And putting it day one on Game Pass is ruining everything, that they're losing money, millions. But yeah, Black Ops 7 also launched day one on Game Pass. I haven't even touched the damn thing. Like, I have no inclination, no hype, no desire to get on Black Ops 7. I probably eventually will, but right now I'm just like, you know what? I'm playing Where Winds Meet. I'm playing indie shovelware on the Switch. I'm doing everything but playing Call of Duty at this point. But sure, being day one on Game Pass probably inflated the early player numbers. But here's the hard truth and the part that fanboys don't want to hear. Game Pass doesn't replace $70 sales. It doesn't. When you hear companies say, oh, players access, players reached, that's not sales, okay? It can't replace sales. When you spend 500 million plus developing a shooter, you need explosive sales fast to make your money back, guys. If Game Pass is essentially doing all the heavy lifting, Microsoft is eating an enormous financial hit. And this is the second Call of Duty in a row that they're going to be doing that. Don't be shocked if Game Pass prices jump again to compensate. They literally raised the Game Pass price because of Call of Duty, if you really didn't notice that. Now everybody complaining about it being $30 a month, it was because of Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7. It's probably going to raise again. It's probably 100% going to raise. I wouldn't doubt it if we see a $40 price. I mean, let's just talk about Call of Duty's identity crisis. It's on full display here, guys. The bionic arm Captain America skin situation wasn't just a meme. It's a symbol of how far Call of Duty has drifted from its own identity, guys. Gamers didn't ask for super soldier cosplay, futuristic body mods, Marvel-like aesthetics. They want good gameplay. They want good maps, good balance, and somehow Activision delivered everything except the fundamentals, what made Call of Duty Call of Duty. You know, check the responses under any Call of Duty post right now. Even the diehards are turning on the franchise. People are calling Black Ops 7 just a DLC that nobody wanted, a confused art direction, a marketing failure, the beginning of Call of Duty's downward spiral. Meanwhile, Battlefield and Arc Raiders, the players that are playing that are having the time of their lives at this moment. And as brutal as this year looks, it might be exactly what Call of Duty needed. I think they needed to be taken down a peg, guys, because now Activision can't run from the truth anymore. Someone else will take their audience if they stop trying, and that's exactly what we're seeing right here. Competition is forcing them to evolve, and honestly, we're already seeing the signs like removing skill-based matchmaking from core playlist. This could be the reset that Call of Duty desperately needed, But what do you guys think? Is Call of Duty finally paying for a decade of ignoring the community, or is this just a 1 year flop? Drop your thoughts below. If you found this video interesting, please hit that like, share the video, and subscribe so YouTube actually recommends the next one. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you for watching.